who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think old England's done, Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think old England's done.
There is a lady sweet and kind, was never face so pleased my mind. I did but see her passing by, yet will I love her till I die. Her gestures, motions, and
I think that'll be enough of that pipe, thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Manring.
We'll learn as you grow older that the bank manager's office is no place for singing.
Sorry, Mr. Manring.
Morning, Frank. Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, Wilson.
It's good news about the Home Guard dance, isn't it, sir?
Oh, well, all work and no play, you know, Pike. Besides, it gives our wives and sweethearts a feeling that they're part of the grand effort. Makes them feel that we're all pulling in the same direction.
Does that mean we can bring a friend, sir?
Oh, yes, of course. Who did you have in mind? One of your old Boy Scout friends?
No, sir. I was going to bring a girl.
A girl? Oh, well, I suppose that's what dances are for, really. Yes, discuss it with Corporal Jones. He's in charge of the invitations.
Yes, sir. I'll bring you coffee in a minute, sir.
Thank you.
There is a lady...
Pike.
Sorry, forgot.
I'm not at all satisfied with that boy's work recently, you know. Never seems to stop humming.
Well, I think he's just letting his thoughts dwell on his private life, sir.
Oh, don't be absurd, Wilson. He hasn't got a private life. Mere boy.
Well, he's going on 19, and he's walking out with an axe.
With a what?
An ATS girl.
Good heavens. You should put a stop to that at once. You never know where these girls come from.
She's a local girl, actually, and she's on leave, and her name is Viola Gibbons.
I know that girl.
Oh, yeah?
Her mother used to clean for us twice a week. Obliging, as she used to call it.
Yes, well... now her daughter's obliging Frank.
Wait a minute. Hadn't that girl used to work in a fish and chip shop?
Yes, that's right. That's the answer, yes.
Oh, no. Wrong sort of background altogether. The bank doesn't like that sort of thing, you know.
Well, what sort of thing?
You know perfectly well what sort of thing. The wrong girl could ruin that boy's entire career in the bank. What does his mother say?
Well, she doesn't know.
Well, you'd better have a word with him.
Well, why me?
Well, the boy hasn't got a father. You've been friendly with his mother for years. I should think you're the next best thing.
Just because I happen to know Mrs. Pike quite well, it doesn't mean that I've got to act as a Dutch uncle to Frank.
You worry me sometimes, you know, Wilson. You'd do anything rather than face up to your responsibilities. You've never really grown up, have you? You're not a middle-aged chief clerk at all. You're a sort of Peter Pan. I don't know how you expect ever to get your own branch.
Well, be that as it may, Frank Pike is not my responsibility.
And I'm sure a lot of people will be very pleased to hear that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's no business of mine. But this is a very small town, Wilson. Tongues wag. People put two and two together, you know. You and Mrs. Pike arrived here about the same time, both from Weston-super-Mare. You look at that boy in certain lights, you know, there is a resemblance, same hairline. He has certain characteristics like pulling the lobe of his ear.
The whole idea is outrageous. I mean to say, Mavis would have mentioned it.
No, I'm sure it's just idle gossip, but I think a word from you would come best.
All right, so then I'll have a chat to him.
Good. By the way, don't make any appointments for me after 3 o'clock this afternoon. I have a meeting in the church hall with the dance committee.
All right, right.
A lovely day tomorrow.
Now, as this dance is in the nature of a recreation, I thought it better if we were to meet in this friendly and relaxed way rather than a more formal atmosphere. Yeah, pay attention, Walker. Don't lean on the desk. Now, I thought it best, and please correct me if you think I'm wrong, that we should each be responsible for one aspect of Operation Dance.
Mr. Manring,
Yeah.
I'd just like to say, on behalf of the men present, it's a very nice idea.
Thank you very much, Jones. Now, what I ask myself are the essential ingredients. What do we need for a successful dance?
A floor.
I'm not actually asking for suggestions at this stage, Walker. As I see it, there are 3 things. Music to dance to, food for the inner man, and drink for conviviality.
There's another thing we need, sir.
What is that?
Women.
I think we can take that for granted.
Yeah, what about the booze, though, sir? I mean, that's very difficult, you know what I mean? It's almost impossible.
Aye, but you can get it for us, can't you, Joe?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I've got contacts.
Yes, well, in this case, I don't think we need to trouble you, Walker. The secretary of the golf club has agreed to stand by us in the matter of drink.
Sucks to you, Joe.
Yeah. Where do you think the golf club get it from?
All right. Now it comes to the question of food.
If it's any help, I'm rather good at making maids of honor.
Blimey, that's a relief all round.
Actually, you know, they're little buns with some icing on the top of them.
Yes, I'm sure they'll be most welcome, Godfrey. Can you help us in this matter, Jones?
Yes, sir. I have earmarked 6 pounds of sausages. More than that, I cannot do.
Oh. We'll be very grateful for those.
No, I tell a lie. I've also earmarked some fat for frying. Then we can put them in the fat and fry them.
Tell you what, sir. We can cut them up into quarters and put them into sausage rolls.
Yes, that's a very stimulating suggestion. For my part, I think I can say that Mrs. Mannering would manage to throw a case around them. She's very ingenious in that sort of way. Now, this brings us to the band. Now, in these troubled times, this is a very difficult question. Miss Rowlands and her colleagues have offered their services. You may remember they used to play in the afternoons at the Marigold tea rooms.
I don't think we ought to have too much of that jazz music.
Blimey, there's not much chance of that with Miss Rowlands. Talk about Nat Gunella.
What we need is some good tunes.
Tell Me Pretty Maiden is a very nice tune.
Yeah, and any old iron.
You can't dance to any old iron.
Well, Harry Champion does.
Listen, sir, I mean, it's none of my business, but if you get that Miss Rowlands and that friend of hers with the buns on her ear holes and that cello between her legs and that old bat from the library playing on the harp, we might as well all go home.
Don't often agree with you, Joe, but this time, by God, you're right.
Of course I'm right.
Yes, well, I think there's some force in what you say, Walker. Question is, where are we to find any musicians?
What about the Salvation Army?
Oh, that's a marvellous idea, the Salvation Army. Ladies and gentlemen, take your partners for what a friend we have in Jesus.
Walker, may I remind you that we are on church property?
I'm sorry, sir, but honestly, the Salvation Army... Here, listen, I'll tell you what. One of the lads in the platoon, he can play the piano. Now, there's an RAF holding station down at Goddleston. Now, I'll pop down there and see what they got.
Oh, good. Splendid. Well done. Well, Operation Dance is well and truly launched, and I think we can say that we can bring her to harbour safely and successfully.
Barring torpedoes.
Barring.
Sing like anything.
Frank, I don't think those pictures ought to be back to back like that. I mean, it looks as if they've had an argument.
You've got to take them down.
I think you better. I mean, it looks ridiculous like that. I mean,
I've got the rosettes here, Wilson.
Right. Oh, good. Well done, sir. Good.
That's the secretary for you, MC for Jones, and the chairman for me.
Oh, great. That's very good, sir. Who wears the wine one?
I'm giving you that to Walker.
Oh, I see. I thought the secretary of the golf club was taking care of all that.
Yes, well, when it came to the point, he couldn't get the extra drink,
Oh, I
but...
see.
I think that can be all right, sir.
Yes, I think so. Put those in the office, would you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a minute. You had a word with that boy yet?
No, not yet, sir. No.
Why not?
Well, the opportunity hasn't presented itself, sir.
Just presented itself now. He's in my office.
Well, you can't just nosedive into a personal matter like this, you know. You need the right sort of atmosphere. I mean, a log fire, a cozy chair, a pipe, a glass of port.
Peter Pan.
My God, Mannering, you can hit pretty low when it suits you.
Mr. Mannering, sir, I want to speak to you now. I was lying in bed last night and I suddenly had an idea.
Really?
I thought, what about a cabaret? You see, I do some very good humorous monologues and various forms of mimicry. And Fraser, he does a marvellous Highland sword dance.
Yes. Well, I'll mention it to the committee.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Jock, I spoke to Mr. Mannering about your sword dance.
I've gone right off the idea.
I think I'll go and see what Mr. Mannering wants me to do.
No, Frank, no. Don't go yet. My goodness me. We've never had a chance, have we, really, to be alone together, have a, cozy little chat.
Haven't we, Uncle?
Yeah, well, looking forward to the dance, are you?
Oh. Yes, thank you, Uncle.
Yes, well, you don't have to keep on calling me Uncle, you know.
Sorry, Sergeant.
Or that either. I mean, both grown up, men of the world. I'm Frank. No, I'm not. You're Frank. I'm Arthur.
How do you do?
Anyway, you're quite grown up now, you know. Frank, aren't you? I mean, we can both look each other in the eye. Can't we? Talk. Man to man.
Nice, isn't it?
Yes, well, there are heaps of things we can talk about, you know. Things that we've never talked about before.
It's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Would you keep stop saying it's nice, Frank? It's terribly irritating. You know?
I'm sorry, Uncle. Sergeant.
Yeah.
Arthur.
Yes, all right, Frank. All right. I'm sorry, Frank. I didn't mean to upset you.
Well, that's all right. Arthur. It's very nice being able to talk man to man, isn't it?
Yes, it's nice. Good, I mean. Good. Nice.
Well, what should we talk about then?
What? Well, Well, we've, have we? We've never never really had a chance to have a little chat about girls, have we?
Oh, that. Oh, I know all about the birds and bees and things.
No, I didn't mean that.
Miss Beckworth told us.
Oh, good.
She knows quite a bit about girls.
Yes, I'm sure she does, yes.
She knows a good deal about boys as well.
Frank. What I would like to know is, who are you going to take to the dance with you?
Well, I thought I'd take my girlfriend, Violet Gibbons.
Precisely, yes. Violet Gibbons, yes. That's, that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about.
Why? You don't want to take her, do you?
Well, certainly not. I don't know, do I?
I didn't think you did. She's wonderful. She's the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world. I love her, Uncle Arthur. When I woke up this morning, I wanted to run to the top of the church tower and shout it to the winds. I love Violet Gibbons, I wanted to shout, but I didn't.
I think you're very wise. I mean, so many mistakes can be made. I mean, so much is to be thought about. Is she suitable, for instance?
Suitable for what?
Well, for the bank.
Well, why she wasn't going to the bank? I mean, she's in the ATS.
No, my dear boy, no. I didn't mean that. I mean, after the war, when all this is over. You see, when you come back.
Well, she won't want to go into the bank then. She'll be married to me.
Married?
Can you keep a secret?
Yes, I suppose so, yes.
We're going to surprise everyone at the dance tonight. I'm going to announce our engagement in the middle of it, just like Jack Oakey did with Zazu Pitts.
No, Frank. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I mean, you've got to think of your mother. It would give her a terrible shock.
Oh, no. When Jack Oakey did it with Zazu Pitts, she thought it was the best bit of the whole film.
Frank, I think it's just possible that this may be different.
Well, it's obvious to me you've made an absolute mess of it.
But in that case, why don't you talk to him, sir?
No. That wouldn't be a good idea at all. You must get somebody nearer to his own age group. Try Walker.
No, I don't think it'd do any good me having a word with him. I mean, you know, when he wants to, he can be very pig-headed. Here, what about his mum? Has she washed her hands of the whole thing?
No, Joe, I didn't mean that, you see, Mavis doesn't even know the girl exists. I mean, if he blurts all this out of the dance, I mean, she'll make the most awful scene.
Yeah. Here, what about if I have a word with Violet?
Yes, that's not a bad idea. Violet? You know Violet?
Well, you know it is. Well, you know, I was a bit keen on her once when she worked in Woolworths, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And when she went to work in a fish shop, I don't know, somehow it was sort of different. I mean, it was all right watching football out in the open, you know, but when she got hot in the pictures... I mean, you know, people used to shift their seats. And the man finds that humiliating, doesn't he?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Perhaps you could have a word with her, Joe. Perhaps she could persuade him not to be too hasty.
Yeah. She tried to persuade me that way once. Mind you, I never was a good listener.
Oh, Johnny, how you can love.
You settle down there and point your music out in that direction, see?
Top project.
Yes, sir, I'm just finishing my preparations for the dance.
Where's Mr. Manley?
Oh, Mr. Manley will be very quickly. He's bringing the sausage rolls, you see, and he wants to arrive here with his good lady and in time to greet all the guests personally, whom I shall announce.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. I've never met Mrs. Mannering.
Oh, they're a very devoted couple, you know. Only she don't get about much, you see.
Oh, Jonesy,
You know.
that microphone's all right now. All you got to do is switch it on.
Yeah, right.
Right, evening, Vicar. Yeah, that piano's on the blink, isn't it? You've got a note missing.
Oh, dear, is it an important one?
Well, it is if you play in the mood. He goes, da-dee thump, dee da thump, da-dee thump, dee da thump.
Oh, I think that's rather catchy.
Didn't know he was a sporting vicar, did you?
Here, listen, Jonesy. Don't let Pikey get anywhere near that microphone.
Don't tell me he's going to announce his engagement.
Well, you know what it is. We've all tried to talk to him, but... Here, listen, I've got to nip off now. I've got to meet my birds. They're down in the Horse and Groom.
Hey, listen, where's Mr. Mannering? He's supposed to be bringing the sausages.
Oh, look, he's just come in. He's over there taking his coat off.
Right. Excuse me, Mr. Mannering, please can I have the sausages as I wish to display them?
I've heard there's been a bit of a mishap, Jones. My wife made a miscalculation and most of them are burnt to a cinder.
I'm very distressed to hear that, Mr. Mannering.
Yes, I'm very sorry, Jones.
Well, don't upset yourself. There are only sausage rolls. Just don't upset yourself.
Well, I was very vexed, naturally. I gave her a very good dressing down.
That's a very nasty eye you got there, Mr. Mannering.
Yes, I bumped into the door of the linen cupboard.
Yes. Well, if you and your good lady stand over there, I'll announce the guests.
Yes, well, Mrs. Mannering won't be joining us this evening.
Oh, I hope she's not poorly or anything of that fashion.
I'd rather not go into it if you don't mind, Jones.
No, so, right.
I'll just greet the guests alone.
Right, so, yes, well, you just stand here, so like that, and in your greeting the guest position, you know, so like that.
Oh,
And then keep nice and calm, so all right, so right.
Do you think we should have some music?
Yes, of course. Have you got any nice, quiet greeting the guest music?
How about trees?
Trees. Would trees suit you, sir?
Oh, yes, admirably, thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that'll
very...
be all right, trees, sir. Now, you keep calm, sir. You keep calm, sir. Right, sir. Right, now, ready with the drinks? Right. Hats and coats, all right? You've got your tickets? They'll be here in a minute, you see? All right. Right, here we go, then. Blimey, you got here early enough.
8 o'clock, it says on the ticket.
Ticket? I never gave you no ticket.
The vicar gave it to me.
Will you just take it easy on the meat paste sandwiches before our lads arrive?
I don't want your meat paste sandwiches.
Don't take any notice of him. He always was a troublemaker.
I'm not a troublemaker. He's the troublemaker. We never did find out who wrote that rude word on the harmonium.
Are you insinuating that I had something to do with it?
I'm not insinuating anything, but why are you blushing? That's what we'd like to know.
I'm waiting, Jones.
Yes, certainly, sir. Mr. and Mrs. Henry Yateman. Go on, shake hands with the captain.
What with me hat on?
I knew you was a troublemaker. Go and put your hat on over there. Go on, put it on that table.
Hello, Jonesy, you having trouble?
I tell you one thing, his joint will be all bristle next week.
It was all bristle last week. That's all you ever sell.
Come away, Anthea.
Right, ladies, now, what's your pleasure? Or failing that, what you going to have to drink?
Here, wait a minute. I've got to announce you first.
Oh, well, this is Doris and this is Dora. They're twins.
Blimey, I thought I was seeing double. Here, which is which?
I don't know. One kicks and the other one bites, so what's the odds?
I'll announce you as Mr. Walker and Party.
No, don't do that. The party comes later.
Right. Mr. Walker and Parties.
You know, Miss Mannering? Blimey, where'd you get that from?
From the linen cupboard door, Walker.
What's the matter? Hasn't your old woman got a rolling pin?
Mr. and Mrs. Dowding. Mr. and Mrs. Eccles. Hello, Mr. Godfrey. My word. You do look smart.
Dear me, some of the gentlemen aren't even wearing dinner jackets.
Oh, you done us proud this evening, Mr. Godfrey.
Our dear father used to say that one was never embarrassed by being too well dressed.
I'm not quite sure he was right.
Mr. and Mrs. Focus.
Me and your Jake.
Hello, Mr. Frank.
This is my wee niece. Her name's Blodwyn.
Hello, Miss Blodwyn, how are you? Nice to see you.
I think it's only fair to warn you, Jonesy, if you say one word about my kilt, I'll bash your face in.
You look very nice.
Thanks.
Mr. Fraser and Miss Blodwyn.
Yeah. Good evening, my
Fraser.
Says hi.
How do you do, Miss Blodwyn? Nice to have you with us.
I'm
I
sorry.
see your niece is a land girl.
I'm sorry I didn't have time to put on a dress.
Oh, don't worry about that, my dear. Your partner amply made up for it.
I don't know how you got that black eye, Captain, but I can't find how you're going to get another.
Mr. Godfrey and Miss Godfrey.
Take my arms.
Oh, it's just like old times, Charles.
Hello, Mr. Jones. Have you seen my Frank anywhere?
Not yet, Mrs. Pike.
Oh, Arthur, what on earth can have happened to him?
Baby, don't worry. You worry much too much, you know. Ridiculous.
Mr. Wilson and Mrs. Pike.
You know my sister, don't you, Captain?
Yes, of course. How nice to see you again, Miss Godfrey.
By Jove, that's a nasty eye.
Yes, I rather stupidly ran into the door of the linen cupboard.
A little bit of folded Christmas card is awfully good for that.
What, for a black eye?
Oh, no. For keeping the linen cupboard doors shut.
What you really need is a hot onion.
Oh, no, Charles, dear. That's for earache.
Oh, no, mustard plasters for earache.
No, darling, no. That's for backache.
It's just a little confusing, isn't it?
It is rather, yes. Go and have a drink, Godfrey.
Excuse me, Mr. Mannering, isn't it time we had a dance?
Yes, indeed it is. I'll tell Jones to start. Jones, start the dancing. Start the dance.
Oh, wait a minute, sir. My consort's just arrived. Mr. Jones and Mrs. Prosser. Good evening, Captain.
Ah, Mrs. Prosser, how do you do? I think we've met, have we?
Excuse me, my dear, I just got to get along. Mr. Manringer looked after you. Give us a ta-ra. Right.
One, two, three, one. Get on.
Oh, Jonesy, don't do that. It's not a barometer, it's a microphone.
Ladies and gentlemen, take your partners for quick step. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, now the fun starts. Here comes Pikey.
Mr. Mannering, I'd like to introduce my fiancée, Violet Gibbons.
How do you do, Miss Gibbons? I knew your mother.
Fred, just come in with Frank.
Oh, don't worry about that, Mavis. We've got the wine, the music, and each other.
Arthur, I'm having none of that. You wait till you're asked.
Come on, then.
Well done, Mr. Wilson.
But I can't keep it up all night walking, you know.
Arthur, I should just have to sit down. That's 10 dances without a single break.
I could go on all night, Mavis.
Oh, Arthur, that's not like you at all.
But I guess
I'd like to make my announcement now, Mr.
No, you can't do that, Pikey. The amplifier's packed up. Why don't you build up?
Now, you turn up nice and loud, Mr. Walker.
No, Pikey, no, you can't do that.
Why not?
Because Jones is going to make an announcement.
What's he going to announce? The band's just taking a break.
Yeah, he's going to announce his cabaret.
No, not Mr. Manning says I shouldn't.
Yeah, no, yes you are. He's changed his mind.
Well, I'm not going to announce
hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, now cabaret time comes to Warmington on Sea, and with his famous impersonations of stars of stage, screen and radio, the one and only, your friend and mine, Jolly Jack Jones.
Corporal Jones is on the air. Oh, can't you hear the chimes? They're telling you to take an easy chair. When sitting in the dance hall, shout out your radio times. Corporal Jones at 8 is on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give you a few difficult impersonations of well-known wireless personalities. And who's the first one we see come along here but our old friend, that good chap, good-hearted Arthur Askey. Hello, playmates. Hello, playmates. I thank you. I thank you. Gentlemen, who else do we see coming round the road but a well-known chap we all like very much, Jolly Jack Warner, with his bicycle and his little girl. Oh, little girl, little girl. Not yet, not yet. Mind my bike, mind my bike. Up and down at the railway lane. Now. Finale, I'd like to give you that well-known Hollywood man, George Arliss, in that well-known Hollywood film, The House of Rothschild. Thank you. Well, Councillor Grants, have you decided to accept my offer? The offer of the House of Rothschild. You refuse. Very well, Councillor Grants. I will take my departure. But before I go, one word of warning. Remember that those who dig graves for others usually finish by sleeping in those graves themselves. Good night, Councillor Grants, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Get back, go and do Charles Lawton.
I don't do Charles Lawton.
Do Freddie Bartholomew. Oh, blimey, it's too late.
I'd like to make a very important announcement since you're all gathered here tonight and we're all having such a good time. I'd like to introduce you.
Joy supreme that came to us in the gloom. You know it isn't a dream. It's love.
Hello, Wilson. I didn't realize you were still here.
Oh, Lord. Good heavens. Did you get locked out too, sir?
Oh, no, not at all. Elizabeth's very absent-minded, you know. I think she probably put the catch on not realizing that I was in.
Right. Hello, Uncle. Mr. Manring.
Frank, couldn't you get in either?
No. Mum threw bucket of water over me. That's what's just the
Well, it's supposed to cool their ardour, you see.
Yeah, well,
Very good.
certainly does that, Uncle. Don't think I'll get married after all.
Well, I think you're very wise, Frank. I never did.
Oh, it was a super dance, though, Mr. Mannering.
Oh, yeah, yeah, very good.
Yeah. It was a pity Fraser had to hit the verger over the head with that altar cannon.
I think it all started when Jonesy tried to stuff that maid of honor down Mrs. Verger's dress, shouting, "Coals for Newcastle."
Walker had no business to take those two girls down into the crypt, you know. Vicar will be very distressed about that. Sort of thing leaves a very nasty taste in the mouth.
Yeah. So it was a good dance, though, wasn't it?
Oh, I think we should have these get-togethers on occasionally. Helps our wives and sweethearts to think that we're all pulling
in opposite directions.
Yeah.